Shalom. Call Aloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rachak Kodash Shan Yukabad Agadwala Requab Zaquanyam Nawa Wa Shalayakim Nawa. That's double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom Wa Barakim Labakarim Shalyasharala. That's peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. I wanted to make a video concerning the limitations of this world. And this video topic came to mind because the Menashe brought this up after a precept was read this past Saturday in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 2. And so I thought it was something pretty interesting to speak on, because the limitations of this world is what should motivate us and keep us inspired to do this work and to be on the right path towards receiving the kingdom of heaven, because there's going to be so many glorious and beautiful and joyful things that we can't even fathom right now, because the Lord hasn't put it in our minds. But he has given us, I'll say, somewhat of a forward-thinking vision through the scriptures, to where we can say, hey, this is what we can imagine. This is what we can look forward to. This is what we can hope for. And that hope is a big thing. And so when we think about the limitations of this world, you have Esau, Edom ruling. Because the wicked is ruling, the biggest limitation right now is what? It's time. That's the number one thing that you're always constantly thinking of and trying to make up any time that you can. You're supposed to be sleeping for 8 hours a day, then you work for 8 hours a day. That's 16 hours gone right there. And then you have to wake up a little bit earlier just to sit in traffic, and then also to get off work, sit in more traffic. So you figure maybe that's another 2 to 3 hours out of your day. So what? 17, 18, maybe 19 hours just gone. 18 to 19 hours just gone. Now you're left with 5 to 6 hours left in your day. And that's it. That's all you have. But that's because of the world that's been created through the Lord putting Esau, Edom, the wicked, in power. And so we'll get into some more things, but that was the biggest limitation that I was thinking of as I was, just dwelling on this topic. And so we're going to start here in the book of 2 Ezra 7, verse 42. It says, "He answered me and said, this present life is not the end." And you have to speed this up and read it in these times as if the angel right here is talking to you. This present life, the one you're living, is not the end, where much glory doth abide. And we're going to stop reading right there, because that's the point. Right now, this current life is not the end. Waking up to alarm clocks, living this monotonous routine, going to work every day just to get off and come home, maybe work out, and then you got to pack your lunch and your breakfast just to do it all over again. Nah, that's not it. In the kingdom of heaven, time is going to be the last thing that we have to worry about. What other limitations do we have? Family. In this current life, you got to remember there's a time to build and there's a time to throw down, as I believe it states in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3. And so, because the wicked is ruling and we're still in the land of our captivity, well, right now is not the time to be building. The scriptures talk about if you have a wife, be as though you didn't have one. Same thing as concerning your business. You may have a business, and that's fine and dandy. But if you're in the mindset of your business thriving and you handing it down to your children's children, well, once again, you have a mindset of prospering in this world. And at the end of the day, that's not possible. Because according to prophecy, we ain't got much longer. I'm going to just say it flat out just like that. We're living in the end. You should know what time it is based upon these prophecies. But there's still a limitation to it. Watch. When we read the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 2, now I'm going to start at verse 1 and read down through verse 11. I'm going to kind of speed read, but watch. Everything that King Solomon said right here that he gave his heart over to, in the end, he found out that it was all vanity. Check it out. Ecclesiastes 2 verse 1. I said in mine heart, go to now, I will prove thee with mirth. Therefore, enjoy pleasure, and behold, this also is vanity. I said of laughter, it is mad, and of mirth, what doth it? I sought in mine heart to give myself unto wine, yet acquainting mine heart with wisdom, and to lay hold on folly, till I might see what was that good for the sons of men, which they should do under the heaven all the days of their life. I made me great works, I builded me houses, I planted me vineyards or vineyards, I made me gardens and orchards, and I planted trees in them of all kinds of fruits. So it all sounds good, right? Like he's building, he's prospering, he has fruits, a garden, right? Verse 6, I made me pools of water to water therewith the wood that bringeth forth trees. I got me servants and maidens. I mean, damn, he was living it up, right? And had servants born in my house. Also I had great possessions of great and small cattle, above all that were in Jerusalem before me. So he was straight balling. Verse 8, I gathered me also silver and gold, and the peculiar treasure of kings and of the provinces. I got me men singers and women singers, and and the delights of the sons of men as musical instruments, and that of all sorts. So I was great and increased more than all that were before me in Jerusalem. This is King Solomon. Also my wisdom remained with me, and whatsoever mine eyes desired, I kept not from them. I withheld not my heart from any joy, for my heart rejoiced in all my labor. And this was my portion of all my labor. Now check out verse 11. Then I looked on all the works that my hands had wrought. So everything that we just read, he got the best wine, instruments, singers, dancers, built houses. He had cattle, plenty of land, fruits. He looked on all the works, it says, that my hands had wrought, and on the labor that I had labored to do. And behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit, and there was no profit under the sun. Why? Because there's a limitation on everything that you do when the wicked is ruling, when it's not set up in true righteousness. And of course, I'm speaking on it today. It's the limitation that holds you back. It holds back you from prospering in a true state of just existing, living life, just being like Yahweh, right? That's why in the kingdom of heaven, the scriptures talk about how he's going to dwell in us. He's going to truly be in us, and it's going to be shown and known that he is our power and we are his people, the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You have children in this kingdom, and it's hard to even enjoy your children. I don't have any, but I hear stories, and not only that, I see it. It's hard to enjoy your children. We're living in a society where, elementary schoolers and middle schoolers, they're going to these public school systems, and they're being taught how to be, homos. I'll just keep it like that. I'm not going to say any more for keeping this video up. But that's what you got to live with. Even when it comes to eating, you're truly not getting in all of the nutrients from the food, because the earth is not abiding by the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father. And so if the earth where the fruit to be specific, is coming from, if the earth isn't yielding its true strength, what makes you think the things coming from it will be as well? Now all of a sudden you got genetically GMO food, I'll just say that, not even real. They say 95% of the corn on earth is GMO. Same thing with bananas. Or maybe corn is 90 and bananas is 95. All the days of my life, I've never even seen a banana with the seed in it. And yeah, bananas are supposed to have a seed in it. Now quickly, very quickly, grapes with seeds in it are becoming a thing in the past. They still sell them in my store, but every now and then they're sold out. I got some in the fridge now though. But these are the limitations of this world. Everything that you do, it just winds up being vanity. Try to own a business, and now you got problems with employees, customers giving you hassle. Your money can get effed up because maybe the finances weren't, straightened out. You got taxes coming out. Limitations again. It's more limitations, and it's nothing but vanity and a vexation of spirit. The scripture we brought out on the highways was verse 18 in Ecclesiastes chapter 2. It says, "Yea, I hated all my labor, which I had taken under the sun, because I should leave it unto the man that shall be after me." And verse 19 says, "And who knoweth whether he shall be a wise man or a fool?" So you start a business, and now you leave it to maybe your son. Or maybe it's not your son. Maybe you don't have a son. So you put it in the hands of a relative, a close relative, or maybe a close, very close family friend, as they call it. Well, you don't know if that individual is going to be able to run your business the way you ran it. So you didn't work 10, 20, 30 years to get your business up and running. And then all of a sudden, now you die. It passes on to whoever's going to inherit it. And then they could just F it up, run it down to the ground in the matter of 2 months. It took you 20 years to build it. 2 months is gone. Why? Well, that's the limitations of this world. You see, that's not going to be a possibility in the kingdom of heaven. Remember, the kingdom of heaven just represents, it's a phrase that represents the Israelites ruling and governing the entire world. Because the entire earth is really going to be in a heavenly state. Just like back then in the Garden of Eden, the word Eden in Hebrew is Aidan, which means paradise. And the garden represents Israel, right, which was eastward in Eden. But the whole world was paradise. It was a place for nothing but prospering and being joyful, right, a place of joy. That's how the entire world is going to be. But the nation of Israel ruling, that kingdom ruling, that's going to be a business in itself. And that's going to be a business or a corporation that's not going to fail. You're going to have the tabernacle of David ruling, King David, of course, Yahushua, the 12, right? I didn't say that in a proper order, just in general stating who's going to be ruling at the top, right? And that's a government that's not going away. We're not going to have to worry about, the heathen uprooting us, anything like that. No, it's not going to happen. We're not going to have to worry about where our food is coming from. We're not going to have to worry about if our cattle are being properly taken care of. We're not going to have to worry about the land becoming weak. We're going to keep the land Sabbath. We're going to be breathing in quality air, drinking quality water. And even when it comes to the things that we don't know, the things we can't see, right? 1 Corinthians, let me see, 2 verse 9, it says, "But as it is written, eye hath not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which the Most High hath prepared for them that love him." And there are so many more things that we can't even think of because the Lord has not put it in our minds. Like, as an example, true gold and true silver. Like, we have an idea of what it does to our bodies based upon the things that we can read and maybe see. But how many of us have really felt true gold, has held true gold? How many of us really know what that does for our body? How many other stones are out there that we haven't heard of? How many other scents are out there that we've never heard of, that we never smelled before, rather? Shoot, how many more colors are out there? I'd be curious just to know that. How many more fruits? It's so much to look forward to. But in this world, those things aren't accessible. It's not a possibility. It's a huge limitation put on this world because of who's ruling. See, I had a few more, but I'm going to end it there. I don't like making my videos too long. Just like making them right to the point, but kind of just a video where I ran a little bit, but I did want to bring out those few precepts because those were the main ones. But yeah, just speaking on the limitations of this world so that we can have that balance and always keep in mind the kingdom of heaven and how there will be no limitations. All things will be possible through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And so I pray that this video was edifying and uplifting to the elect. Call Aloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.